Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Looking at a loading screen. Jumpman, did you ever get in here?
Yeah, I'm in here.
Okay. Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 20 Semifinals. Today we're taking another look at Clock and Ball Torture, the Charlie Wang team, taking on the Fellowship of the Ping, the Kyrix team. Last time, the Charlie Wang team tried to do a literal 1v9, did not work out. See what happens this time. With me here today is Dr. Dota, Randy.
I am here.
Barely. And Jumpman, who is still here.
10 seconds.
Which was crazy.
I'm here.
They're banning out the NO Jug first phase, or banning out the Shaman.
5 seconds remaining.
On one hand, it is a good idea. On the other hand, they probably should not expect the Kyrix team to run the same, like, shtick again 2 times in a row. Like, there's definitely a specific plan behind the Shaman and DP there. They were really wanting to just blow through that game as fast as they could, and they did, for the most part. I mean, it did take probably longer than they wanted, but not so long that they just the wheels completely fell off. In fairness, it probably should have, but you know how it goes. When it ended early, they did. Relatively, anyway.
Dire team ban.
Kyrix just going all in on supports. Okay. Chuck is just gonna ban what works. He bans the and 3 of their 5 heroes from round 1. You guys are making me blush, says hell. You do have to question a little bit as far as first phase bans go. I definitely do not think they're going to be first picking NO on this lineup. They would be a little crazy to do that. They're going to be first picking the VS, though.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ah, Barrel Rider just reminded me to, the other chats.
Dire team ban.
This looks a little familiar. Looks a little more than familiar.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Radiant team pick.
I like the Dazzle pick. The Dazzle was just like a big pain in the ass for the Kyrix team last game. I felt like seems like almost as usual for the Charlie Wang team, but it did feel like there was a lot of the game's impact was just on the Dazzle. Its ability to do things. They're taking the Dawnbreaker too.
Dire team pick.
Global Silence, taking the silencer. So it's not going to be Renee on the VS again, because usually when this team picks silencer, they're going to run at P4. Don't think I've seen Kyrix run the silencer yet. So,
10 seconds
sort of devastating pick so far, as long as Renee can remember what he got flamed for last time he ran this hero, and not just, like, run face first into fights with this guy. That's not good. If Silencer isn't dying in 2 seconds every fight, if he's like, you know, staying back, you know, positioning cautiously, then already it's a really nasty Silencer game. Like, even to the Dazzle ults, it doesn't matter if you Global Silence. Alright. Trade and pause 3s. Again, thus far, the Kyrix lineup doesn't really have any kind of, like, synergy, per se. They all have heroes that have very defined roles, and those roles do not really interact with each other as of yet.
Radiant team pick.
Dragon Knight.
Picking up the DK here. I gotta tell you, a little interesting to see DK against the Silencer vs Centaur. I don't think this is a great looking DK game. I don't think it's like unplayably bad, it's just not really
10
ideal.
seconds
Like,
remaining.
you got one guy, you really don't want to lose abilities as DK.
5
So
seconds
Silencer
remaining.
kind of sucks. You don't really want to get like armor broken all the time as DK. That kind of sucks. Bring in the Lich here. I almost like that Lich. There's really not enough stun yet to make that awesome. But even a bad Lich game, you can do at least okay just because of the Spire. Still, would definitely like to see a little bit more CSC on that
10
to
seconds remaining.
make the Lich pick awesome.
5 seconds remaining.
Thinking hard about last pick.
Dire team ban.
I got to hear 1 second of Randy.
I think hard about
Radiant
second last
team
pick.
ban.
Okay, and if it... I hear that it's not a win condition, question mark. Why did we take that long to pick up boring here that doesn't do anything?
Damn. I don't think Viper's actually won every match in LD2L this season that's been in.
Yeah,
5
but it's
seconds
boring.
remaining.
It's boring!
And the answer to the reason as to why they picked that is to just insta shut down the DK. We saw the exact same thing happen last week.
It does remove DK from the game, but I'm not convinced that DK was that much in this game to begin with.
Deathdralock says, whoever's drafting for Clock and Ball needs a break, because this is booty so far. Yeah, it definitely does. I feel like they might have gotten a little brain scrambled after game 1. Feels like they kind of came in with a plan, and that plan didn't work. And now that plan's gone, it's a lot harder to figure out what to do exactly.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I mean, running the exact same plan probably wouldn't have been that bad of an idea, if I'm being honest.
Dire team ban.
They definitely can't be going the opposite way here. Like, if this is secretly DKP1, abysmal. That's not gonna work.
Ten seconds remaining.
It's a nice Viper game outside of
5
the
seconds
DK
remaining.
matchup as well. Just on the grounds that most of the damage that they're coming out with is magic, and you're tanky to magic damage very nicely. DK is going to be an exception to that, but DK has such a hard game otherwise, it's not really that big of a deal.
Dire team pick.
Fanning out the Quap.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like whether I like these drafts is going to be very dependent on this pick for both lineups. But I'm kind of struggling to envision a hero that's like that awesome on CBT.
Radiant team pick.
Anti-mage.
All right, it really is
Again.
Backwardsville.
What is going on? Like, why are we having the same heroes with different teams? Like,
You ban our heroes, we'll just pick your heroes.
it's an awful anti-mage game.
10 seconds remaining.
What are we talking about? Like, unless Radiant picks or
5
counter
seconds
picks
remaining.
themselves, which I guess could happen.
Is it an awful AM game? It doesn't look that bad.
It's not that good against the cores, especially.
I mean, the DK is irrelevant, so you can already just knock him off the
Yes,
roster. Is he that bad into Dawn? I feel like he's alright into that.
I don't think it's that good. I think it's barely parity.
I think it's going to be about reaching the Dawn. It's like a hero that doesn't do anything if it's mana broken. We saw that in lane last time. Had a really rough go against the AM. Might do a little better this time, but definitely a hero that needs mana to function, and is going to be a hero that's going to need to be showing herself a little bit more compared to the last game, because you got the global silence, right? Dawnbreaker can't just like exist in the trees and drop in on a fight. She has to actually be there. It's like when you're playing against the Neeks, back when you had the Dawn Neeks patch. Windrunner?
What? Question mark?
No, don't tell me it really is going to be. It
Pause
is
one
pause one
DK,
DK.
not like
Oh no,
this.
baby, that's bad.
Game's already over. This game has sadly ended. They picked a Windrunner into the worst Windrunner game I've ever seen. And then they picked Pause 1 DK retroactively into the worst DK game I've ever seen. What is happening?
I mean, in fairness, at least the Windrunner, I think the idea is that it's just going to try and be an early game stomp. Because Windrunner is probably going to be Viper in the lane, unless Viper is going to go all in on the lane phase. So there's that. You can beat Windrunner as Viper, but you have to sacrifice a lot of your game to do that. I mean, you have to be chowing down on those consumables. So the Viper Windrunner lane is probably going to be Windrunner favored. DK should have no trouble at all with this Centaur Silencer lane. That should be pretty easy for him. Not easy necessarily, but it's just Centaur Silencer, really, unless the DK is playing like an absolute maniac, really don't have any kill pressure on the guy. So I think the idea, nominally, is that they're going, and we just saw the Dawnbreaker went out in that last match, so I think the idea is that they're going to try and just, like, win out 3 lanes and just try to snowball over the game before the rest of the draft matters. I think that's a really big ask, but I think that's the strategy. Not one I agree with, but I think that's the idea here. Another woman anti-mage skin. Have you ever thought about the fact that absolutely no one uses the male PA skin, but like 75% of AM players play as Woman anti-mage?
Yeah, that really says a lot about our society, honestly.
True. This is Eda and Nettie in 2017. Pro tip, don't watch that video, it sucks. But it says a lot about our society, and the way it doesn't say anything at all. 2 teams smoke once again, but this time there might be a little bit of action happening. Radiant looking for a level 1 gank here. Gonna walk right into Inno too. Does not have anything leveled, so could hypothetically blink out here if he wants to level that level 1. He probably doesn't, but if he needs to, he can. Oh, we'll counterspell! Level 1 instead.
30 seconds to battle.
Interesting. Okay, the Lord 777 with the craziest Centaur Q in the world, but...
Whoa, black hole!
Yeah.
Centaur.
Toot.
Just what I've been waiting for.
The battle begins.
G-Wrath thinks Radiant has a better draft here. He believes that DK has the ability to play a game into Viper, I guess. I don't really believe that. I think it's like one of the most binary matchups in the game. And again, we've seen it last week. We've seen DK picked into the Viper, and the DK does literally nothing. Just loses all of his damage, all of his regen, everything about him just sucks. Because remember, that Viper Strike is non-negotiable, and it breaks this too. Gets rid of that. Not 100%. I guess, yeah, it does. So, yeah, you lose your E, you lose your passive. Dire Joe something other than AM would be better. I think I would agree with that, yeah.
Not on my watch.
I think the thing is that the rest of their Dire make up for the deficiencies of the AM pick A lot more than the rest of the Radiant make up for the deficiencies of the DK pick. It's really just going to have to be, I think it's going to have to be, this is going to have to be the de facto pause 1. Either this is going to have to be the de facto pause 1, or this is going to have to own Vipers so hard in the lane that it doesn't matter at all. What am I saying? Even if it does. Even if Viper is playing as support, he just hits R, right? It's not like he has to think. He hits R, the DK problem's over. No. You know? Oh man. Kyrix, I like that blood grenade, that defensive blood grenade there, just to make sure that Inno didn't eat it. Inno's still going to eat it. Oh man, the stick though. Just a crazy use of resource PS of all. Nope, Kyrix now, Charlie Wang, is gonna get first blood. This is a terrible trade for Inno and Kyrix. He played that really badly. He just used so many resources to do nothing. I think Kyrix gets tipped. Centaur going for the double braces. And just to make this lane sag, 'cause I mean all they got really is just this magic damage and... Oh, okay, no, never mind, that's physical damage. Never mind. The DK is going to be depressed. The Del's not going to care that much. Not have any armor on this guy. He's going for damage block. I would not even bother with the Vanguard in this lane, frankly. I think in this lane I would just go straight in on the blade mail because they just got so much that so much damage that's hard for them to control, gives you the armor that you really need. If you weren't going to go for that, then just end something with armor would be a much better start than the Vanguard. And they have armor break, but it's going to take a while. Does that to like mean anything? PS Vol blows themselves up on the AM counterspell, which is always a little funny. Gotta tell you, mid lane, not going for Moon River how it's supposed to be go. Okay, might be going a little better now. Never mind, mid lane, not really going for Moon River like this is supposed to. Okay, it could if Chobro's gonna let himself get kill shot though. Scary, but he is not behind. He really probably should be. Gonna pop a salve at kind of an awkward time. Moon River is not going. Oh, she doesn't even have mana to do anything about it. Nice. Is going to secure this water room though. Okay, they're gonna just catch Sludge here. Centaur also chewing on a salve. This man has one bracer for each wrist, and that's it. Bringing in a stick. Not a bad decision. Once again, have Black Joe pause 5 here. Feels like this kind of almost the story of the year for most teams, really, in a lot of ways. Most of these teams are just flexing their pause 4s and 5s back and forth, it feels like the season. Ah, Dawnbreaker's listening to the cash. She got herself a soul ring.
Denied.
I'm not saying so.
Awesome. Oh, and I missed times Z.
It's quiet. Lane fades. It's like extremely quiet.
Going in on the power treads here.
Enough of it to dire.
Mid is still even, for the record. Oh, missed the power shot on the Viper, secured the range creep though. The mid lane's still actually even somehow. This bot lane though is pretty disastrous for Centaur thus far, which isn't surprising. Where are you going? What? What do you mean, dude? That... What? Okay. What a weird TP. Oh, Inno gets it.
Inno?
He's going to die to the support, but gets the kill on the 3 beforehand. And secures a Lotus. There's that.
That was a crazy blinking.
Centaur War Runner gonna get hammered here while Silencer's out. Silencer's going to hit E on perhaps the wrong target. Does not have Q, does not have enough mana for Q, and the Centaur War Runner is going to go down. Mega Man is really not playing this lane too well, unfortunately, for him. Just this, like, building for the wrong scenario, playing like it's the wrong scenario. That really okay, speaking of pointless, nice Viper strike there, just to announce he's level 6, I guess. Very pointless TP to the tower, just to blow up a little bit of his mana, just put him in a worse position. Like, ugh, not having the best day out there. Maybe it's just because it's so late in England.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Well, the
attack.
killing fields here in top lane. Pretty stalemated. The only lane that's, like, decisive in any way is the spot lane, where the DK is rolling right over the Centaur. Every other lane is just, like, just split. Which is really sad, because, you know, the Viper and the DK is just always bad. The worst part is, even if they had, even if they pick up the Lincoln Sphere to deal with that, you still have other big Lincoln's abilities, including some easy pops, so... Especially if Kyrix builds something that's going to pop it, which is not an unthinkable possibility. Inno does not realize the Dazzle is top and is going to get knocked out here. That's a very good rotation. You lose nothing to do this. You know, like, the Centaur's not even here. The Centaur is just given up and is just hitting creeps in the jungle looking for Vanguard. It's not even going to help him. You know, when you see the Dazzle in the top lane, the first thing you should be doing is sprinting your ass back down here to at least get some time against the DK. But no, he's going to let the Silencer, like, solo lane. This is basically like a mid from 3 years ago now. Windrunner is going to get the inaugural ult out on Viper. Is going to deal about half his HP at least. What do you mean Charlie's dead again? Now, the Silencer being dead, I get. Just gets run over by the DK level 6. This is like, it's not what you do. It was not in the slightest what you do, I'm afraid. My Centaur is griefing. It's a good thing he doesn't really have much to do this game except hit R anyway. Viper going instant travels. And wants to be around the world. Finds the observer there, gets it killed. It's a little early to be looking at the net worth chart, but I think it's worth looking at. Ironically, very similar situation to last game, where the Centaur War Runner is way at the back of the pack. Too bad it's on the other side this time. DK's still just like laying in here. All 6 at this point. Here, dropping the whole world on poor Kyrix. Silencer's gonna run in to intervene, but he's just too late at this point. You know, tries to go for the desperation kill on Charlie Wang, but like, level 1 mana void and the low level Silencer, you're not gonna get anything done there. Or at least it's gonna let him have a lane again for a minute. Grim's calling for an attack on the T1 mid. And he's calling for Mask of Madness, which I suppose you have to do. In this game, you don't really get an alternative to doing that. You're gonna be silenced anyway, you might as well, right? Viper finishes up the travels here. So now has the ability to, okay, Anti-Mage blinks to the spot that the Dawnbreaker no longer is. Dawnbreaker is going to stomp right where she stands and going to get the kill on the Anti-Mage as a result. DK is run in. Didn't really get to do much there. Silencer desperately needs level 6, but instead he's going to get killed. My Viper is now walking into this fight, but
My
holy
Viper is
crap,
rugby
too late.
fiving. What is happening?
Yeah, they're really screwing this up on the
Dire's
Dire,
middle
unfortunately.
tower is under attack.
My Viper got travels and then like waited until instead of travelsing into that encounter, waited until everybody was dead to go in, which was nuts.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is
Silencer
under
going
attack.
for an instant Ags. I've never
Radiant's
disagreed
middle
with
tower
anything
is
more
under
than I've
attack.
disagreed with this decision. This is way too greedy for where these guys are in the game. If you're a support in the Dire in a game that looks like this, your job is to keep the game on the map, right? Like, right now you're on your ass. You cannot be getting something like an Ags. You'll never finish that. The DK is just going to kill you 1,000 times. You're going to lose all that money. You need defensive items. You need team items. Like,
Yeah, you'll be building that egg until the timer says 60.
yeah, you've just got to pick yourself up at the very least like a 4th staff, right? Like that's pretty basic, but even a 4th staff would help you a lot out here. Viper's building one now. Everyone's looking at the AM here. You know, the silencer's, alone under here. Kind of unwilling to go in on him. 4 of the 5 on Radiant are here, so it's a 4v2 if they want to take this. Still no global on the silencer. He has to fix it soon. Like, he has to start standing at XP range or something. He's gonna get jumped by 3 people.
XP Ranger's own grave.
And just gonna get hammered again.
Okay, this game is looking really over, my friends.
Game is a stomp. Well, the good news is that the net worth is not really so far, but in every other capacity, yikes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The mage coming in here wants to get something out of this for his team. Currently, it's 2 for nil. He can't even get the stupid lich.
I've played some anti-rage in my life. I've seen many anti-rage games that look like this, and the anti-rage does not win them very often.
Yeah, the Dire are just taking these fights very piecemeal. So far, they haven't had a single encounter where more than 2 people were in a fight at the time, right? Like, at the same time. We haven't seen even a 3v5. It's been mostly 2v4. Mostly 2v4, 2v5.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It is now 6k net worth advantage for the Radiant. Going on Anti-Mage here. Anti-Mage sees it coming.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Anti-Mage
attack.
is giving away where he's going by his courier. Needs to micro that thing. Hyperbots is a grief need blade mail against the Windrunner. I think I agree with that. I mean, it sucks having to do that, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
they found Charlie Wang here. Going to try and teleport. It's going to get global silence. That's the wrong skill to use. Oh my god, Renee. That does not stop people from teleporting, just in case you didn't know that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So that's the first global silence used. A big part of this team fights puzzles used, and it was just completely thrown away.
Dire are scanning.
Going to jump with the Centaur here. He does not have the blade mail or anything, but he is tanky enough that this is taking a year. Did not come at him with the damage really.
They stack their stuns.
Also true. Like the Windrunner doesn't really have any damage yet. Just has a Maelstrom, that's not really enough on its own. Okay, this is a potentially interesting go here, but they have no mobility items. Like, none at all. The closest thing this team does to a mobility item is that Viper has boots of travel, so right now, the Radiant can literally just right-click Fountain, the Dire can't do anything about it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Viper has realized his dire need for a Force Staff and is now pulling one out.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're trying to give this fight up, trying to give the ground here. Radiant looking for the Centaur Warrunner, they're not going to find him. He's already dead. They are lined up here like they're going to actually take a fight.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You know, that might be interesting. Maybe might actually take a fight. Still very scared of doing this. They've swapped in the Windrunner, and she's looking pretty dead.
Nope, not looking that dead.
Centaur's going far in the back to try and kill her. Global Silence could not have been later. That is really unfortunate. At least they're going to get the Dragon Knife. They're going to lose Grem for it.
He's dying that fast? Oh no. No, it matters.
Viper's dying that fast? Oh no.
My
Another very bad fight. The coordination factor on the Kyrix team this match is just not there at all. Like... Oh no, Charlie! Charlie! Okay. She was barely gonna get healed out of there. They really should have banned that Dazzle, I think. That feels like this Dazzle is a source of 75% of this team's problems, but either way. 7k net worth lead now. Anti-Mage has finally gotten Battle Fury at 18 minutes here. They just can't figure out how to take these fights at all on the Dire, it feels like. Like, they're just coming out very awkwardly. They can't actually kill anybody. The skill use is just, like, bad. So far, we've had 2 global silences, and they've both been just a complete bust. One that happened for no reason, and one that happened after the Radiant had already used all their skills. Like, that's not good. Okay, going for the BKB next, just has Mask of Madness Blink. Going to jump on Chobro here. They got the Global Silence here. Okay, they've popped the Centaur ult, that's a good use of it. But God, for the love of everything that is holy on the good planet Earth, do not do this Ags. You can't have no defensive items on the Silencer this game. You're just not allowed. You will lose before you finish that Ags. If you finish that Ags, you will lose before you finish that Ags because you finished that Ags. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Anti-Mage and Windrunner are very close to each other here. No longer. Anti-Mage is going to be TP into bot lane. Wants to get this T1 bot already. Been here for a cow's age. And with the Radiant still posturing over T2 mid, they're going to take it. I know it's not done yet, and is going to push out to T2 to try and get the Radiant to come back here. The good news is that if they can extend this game, the DK did not get any farming item. I mean, he got the Mask of Madness, but like, he does not have a farming item that's going to let him keep parity with the Anti-Mage, with the Battle Fury. So if they can drag this out, the Anti-Mage is going to start really passing him up. Might not pass the Windrunner up, but we'll definitely pass the DK up at the very least.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, Viper's just gonna get walked on again. You ain't winning this, DK. Bye-bye!
Okay. That's my pause one, guys.
Well, not the best 1v1 that DK can take, if I'm being honest. They forgot, I guess? I mean, It has felt like the Viper has been pretty irrelevant thus far, but that's literally what this matchup is just like. It's going to be like that from minute 1 to the end of the game, so don't do that again. And Centaur found Windrunner on their retreat. That's not really too
Radiant's
good.
middle tower is under attack.
Arms for the day.
Hard to tell those 2 kills, but that's going to be at least like a grand and a half, I think 2k swing about.
Radiant's
since they
top
didn't lose
tower
anybody
is
doing
under
it.
attack.
Dawnbreaker wants to beef with Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage says, I'm not really that afraid of you, to be honest. Viper says, Black. And the Dawnbreaker's dead.
You seemed pretty cool.
Okay, game might be in throw range again.
Damn. I mean, I think this is less throw range. I think this is more unthrow. Like, this is what this game should have looked like from the beginning,
Dire's
frankly.
middle tower is under attack.
With the way these 2 drafts are. Centaur, somebody in chat could get a clip of that. That would be awesome. Going to ult to try and free the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is going to try and TP out on the spot and die. Cannot do that. This is crazy. I think the pressure has gotten to both teams here. Because both of these teams are just making these, like, crazy misplays. Unfortunately.
Regeneration.
Windrunner going for BKB next, so if Centaur was thinking of making Halberd this game, that's no longer a great investment. Dawn has Ags and Shard already, for the record. Viper trying to do creeps in the jungle, is not using his Q, and is losing to the creeps. As is his War Staff, at least. Strawberry, this Q works on like everything, man. So don't do Ancients without using your Q. It's weird. Makes me uncomfortable. Anti-Mage nearly to Manta style, DK nearly to BKB. Really got that going for him. Everyone sees Anti-Mage, everyone throws everything at him. They use the DK ult, they use the Dazzle ult, and he's not even there. Renee TPs to the most dangerous position in the universe, gets his dick pinged off, rightfully, but does get out. I think Windrunner ulted the Centaur Blade Mail. I believe there's a good chance that was what killed her, yes. I just didn't want to make a big deal of it, but, you know. Alright, Kyrix smokes, finds Charlie Wang, gets bluffed out by him, does not realize, I don't think, that everyone on Radiant is actually still around T2. So even though it's just one guy, he's gonna let him go.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They find each other once again. You have a pretty bad swap. Global silence. This time is a decent point, though it's really only going to benefit the. Only going to benefit the VS. Oh man, DK versus the world on the sidelines, but the amount of healing, he's back to full HP. Between the Dawnbreaker and the Dazzle, he actually made it all the way back to full HP. They're gonna just kill the Centaur now.
I can't believe the Dawn didn't die.
Houdini Hots.
Shoutouts to Houdini Hots for the follow. That was a lot for just one kill, but it definitely shows that there needs to be some thought gone towards some sort of anti-healing, and Chobro is answering and getting a Scotty, which is a pretty big purchase, but we'll do the job and he gets it at the very least.
Double damage.
Hey, while we're just sitting here, while nothing is happening, I'm gonna shoot. Can I kill Can I kill Shubs? Die, Shubs, die. Can I shill subs one more time? Too bad it's my show. Super duper ultra shoutouts to all the folks who subscribe. I've heard, this is just a rumor, but I've heard 25% better smelling than everyone else in the world. Like, they actually got everybody for that. That was an insane survey. team wants to go win. They found the exact right guy they want, and DK is just in shambles. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier.
A black hole!
Yeah, the rare Dawnbreaker black hole. Dawnbreaker tries to just TP out with the BKB, doesn't quite make it. Dazzle tries to TP out with no BKB, doesn't make it either. 3 for 0 there.
About how 2025 black holes go.
Oh no, it wasn't BKB, that's just a shard. So 3 for 0, that's about a 3.5k net worth swing, that's not very good. The Dire just can't seem to get themselves ahead, but the Radiant are really starting to lose fights pretty consistently.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Is this, no. That doesn't make it too sure. Okay. Well, the good news is, Silencer is over halfway to his Ags now. He might have it by 45 minutes. It's his only item,
Radiant's
by the
top
way.
tower is under attack.
It's literally what I build when I pick support pumps.
Centaur is all in on the Crimson Guard here. He has Blade Mail Crimson. I like the Crimson in this game. You're going to have 2 heroes. Well, you're going to have one hero who's going to be doing, you know, very small amounts of damage often. You have one hero who's going to be, you know, still doing, like, he's going to be pretty mixed between his physical and magic damage, which means he's going to be losing some of his physical. So the Crimson Guard, beyond being good on Centaur, usually is a pretty good pickup here. And hurts a lot of their damage. Doesn't do anything about the Dazzle damage, sadly, and is going to be losing efficiency when you get armor broken by the Dazzle. Because he does have the, oh no, never mind. He does not have the armor breaking trait. But I believe, no, he does not actually have any way to break armor with that trait, never mind. Skullbasher will be out soon on the Anti-Mage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They found the Lich. I always hate to see the Viper roll being used on a solo support, but whatever. Lich died anyway. Resist the urge, Viper players. This thing, it doesn't do much damage. The important part of this is the move slow, attack speed slow, right? And the move slow, I guess, is useful there. But it's a very supplemental part, and you're getting a lot of move slow with just your Q anyway, right? Resist the urge to do the ult to supports. Save it.
Bountiful.
If DK was right behind that person, then that DK would be
Radiant's top
dead
tower is
K.
under attack.
Basher out on the AM. Centaur going for a pipe next, which also makes sense here. He's going to be pawning off a lot of his potential damage output doing this. I mean, he's really, at this point, a blank in defensive items, but
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
he doesn't need to be a big part of this match. It's fine. AM is going to get caught here by the whole world and just die before anything can happen. That's pretty awkward. There's even 2 TPs for that, but nothing is able to save him.
This game makes no sense in any kind of coordinated way. It's literally shit happening.
They're making a pincer on Dawnbreaker here, but I don't think these 2 can get her.
Illusion.
We're gonna try. Centaur versus Dawnbreaker, BW the Kyrix here. Going to get the stun out pretty early on the VS. Swap is going to happen, but it feels like whenever this swap happens on the VS, nobody's ever ready for it. They might get her. They actually do. They do the job. They get the kill. Global Silence is going to come out, trying to save the Viper, and it almost does. The Windrunner is going to be able to get rid of him, though. Just keeps hounding him and gets the job done.
Why was the Viper there?
Good question. Why does the Anti-Mage insist on putting himself in danger around this fight? He knows. He's got to know at this point. They're just... These guys live in this little bend of the river, right? They've been there for 30 minutes. They got a buyback off of Charlie Wang. Can't get anything done with it besides ulting on the Silencer, though. He is going to be in the fight now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
3 seconds CD. Again, that DK is right behind you. You never know where the other guys are going to be. You know, you can get the kill. It does not really help you get the kill is the most important part, I suppose, of that. It does not really help you get the kill in any major way. It's not that much damage, it's not that much more slow. You really just want it for the attack speed slow and the passive break. If you're using it for some other reason, you're in the wrong part of town. They're going to try and go uphill here, which I think is a little nutso. They're going to drop Windrunner behind the tower here. That's a great stop from Centaur and is going to lead to a very dead Windrunner. Lich Ult was great in theory, but luck has not favored Piaceval, and the bounces are mostly useless. It's 2 for 1 so far. They're going to find the Dazzler. They're going to stop him just in time. They're going to put down the detection. He's going to go down. 3 for 0.
Not the uphill you want to take, maybe.
No. That was way greedy, way early. And it honestly could have gone even worse than that, frankly. My DK is very dead. Uh-oh. This game suddenly really fell off for the Radiant here. Viper nearly to Scotty. Unfortunately for him, does not have the ability to go uphill here. Not without the
Hey,
shard.
look at the Lich.
He did. He did, and look, he got the kill too.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle
Luckily, he's not going to need that in the next 40 seconds.
Radiant's
Silencer
middle tower
almost
is
has his
under attack.
Ags.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
boys.
Here, 90 years later, he missed every creep in that lane. Who cares? He finally got it. It's a Christmas miracle. It's not even that good of an axe.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
But it's out. It's finally out. The wait is over. Silencer can buy something now. He's going for Lotus Orb. It's a little weird, but I can see it. VS also going for Ags. You know, VS bought an entire Solar Crest, and his Apaz 5 is therefore getting less money, right? And is going to get Ags like 2 minutes later than the Silencer, who's been building it since 10 minutes.
Yikes.
Centaur has finished up the pipe, has an inventory full of crap. Sell your magic wand, or magic stick, my friend. Viper is just shy of Scotty. He's like one camp away at this point, or a lane. Though he might be tossed back a little bit if he gets caught here. Has to be careful. Radiant are not going to take it. They are not going to pursue it. I'm going to slow the game down. Who do you think is going to benefit in the late game if you're slowing down the game and one of the teams has +1 DK? You're right.
Oh, they have a Windrunner.
That's true. Antimage's got a Lincoln's here. Does not want that one skill leads to his death instantly effect anymore. Viper
That's
Scotty out?
pretty cool to his death instantly.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be quite the insurance he thinks it's going to be, but...
Actually, 2 spells if he's not good at pressing E.
Sure. Centaur is going to finish a Greater Healing Lotus. Radiant, or Dire, is going to coalesce on the Torment here. When did Centaur's net worth get so high? He was part of a really big team fight that swung a lot of money, is the answer. Actually, I was gonna say they're looking at T2 bot, but there is no T2 bot for Radiant.
Dire are
Dire cannot figure out where Radiant is. The answer is they're in creep camps behind where the T2 line is. Roche wasn't a bad guess, or pretty close to that at least. saying maybe they're in the GG jungle. Nope. They're all partying the triangle. This is a profound waste of the Dyer's time. They have at least figured out by now that there's nothing down here and are moving towards where the Radiant actually are. In fact, they might bump into Krem. Nope, Krem is going to walk into Roche.
For me.
They don't know. Star's going to take Shield Rune. It's going to reveal this happening. PS is going to breathe in the Roche, reveal that they're there. Global Silence is going to come out. Immediately gets followed with Magic Immunity from both the Windrunner and from the Dawnbreaker. Anti-Mage is in super deep. Anti-Mage is in super deep and is super dead as a result.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
But Radiant are still not really winning this fight per se once he's gone. Even with him out, they're still losing this.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top
Kind of the
tower
issue!
is falling.
Oh, they just lost T3 top to creeps, nice.
Top barracks are under attack.
Kind of the issue of having a hero that's so effectively dealt with as the DK, like they cannot really spawn very well in place. Oh man, Moon River. Moon River, baby! No! That wouldn't have been worth it if you got away with it. Okay, well, attempted Aegis steal there. Did not work. It's at a 3-for-1. Dyer's going to take Ancient, or Ancient. Dyer is going to take Aegis. And start by running down mid. I don't think they're going to commit to this, though, because everybody on the Dyer is splitting up and retreating to their own side of the map. It's one of those farming Aegises. Which I guess you're allowed to do. The enemy is, you know, got pause 1 DK in a match where DK is useless. He has himself a Orchid here. Hyper's getting himself a Lincolns. I think that's a bot. You really need the BKB instead this game. There's just too much stuff that's going to get rid of that. And he really, like, you do not want to get silenced. That's just the long and short of it. I don't know if he even knows that the Orchid is out, but it is. Really needed a BKB instead of that Lincolns. They, man, Krem is in such a scary spot here. This is terrifying. Thank God VS never just randomly, like, threw up on that, little area there. Do they know? They're acting like they know. They don't know.
Oh, they're gonna see him.
Yeah, he blinks right in time. Three-man smoke. BKB, oh my god, the most offensive anti-mage. Has also gone both Lincoln's BKB. That's kind of put like a... Excuse me. That's kind of put like a damper in this whole operation. Like, they're not the late game team anymore because AM has 2 defensive items that give him bad stats. Or her, I guess. It's swim anti-mage, but... Still, I mean... I guess you're going to trade it a little bit with the fact that the DK also has a BKB. But still, you're 4-slotted now, basically. That's your max. You're 4 slots now. That's pretty bad. Fintar going for Ags? Like, you super didn't need a second defensive item if Fintar was going to go for Ags. Like, that is just complete nonsense. Dyer or prepping for Tormentor here? I hope Viper gets it. He can. 50-50. Hey! How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Feels like this guy has been desperate. Okay, finally a 4th staff on the silencer. Feels like this guy has been desperately missing the sharp for a long time. A lot of opportunities he hasn't had because of it. You know, all alone up at top. He's pinging out, I think, just so his team knows. He is not with them at all. Viper going to use his illusion room to push a creep wave.
Radiant's
And he
top
is
tower
indeed going to acknowledge that he just got the shard and is going to pop the T2 like a cherry tomato with it.
Radiant's top
By the way, don't
tower has
overstack
fallen.
with the Viper shard, Chobro.
Dire's
It
bottom
only
tower
it only
is under
stacks up to, I
attack.
think it's 9 times. That was 8. Still. Only stacks up to 8 times, so do not
Dire's
overstack.
bottom tower is under
Here it
attack.
is. Walking up, beat this T3 here, okay.
Radiant's
This
top
is as
tower
casual as you're allowed to be.
Radiant's top
DK is going to get mad about this, but he's going to stun a creep. And then he's going to get ulted by the Viper. Dawnbreaker ult is going to have a lot to say about this, but the DK has just, yeah, he's just gone. There's just nothing left of this guy. Chuck is going to get mucked up. Dazzle's buying back. They do have the ability to pull a lot of buybacks out here, but without the DK, it is a little worrying. I mean, it's not like the DK is a good buyback hero anyway, unfortunately for them. This is great timing for Viper, who gets the free regen rune here to crack more of these towers from the Aegis. Can finish off the Scotty now.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
They're just going to go right for Megas.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Radiant is not even going to try and stop them. They're letting this season fall right out of their hands.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Okay, that was the most casual Megas ever.
Now have
This is you guys are the early game team, you know. You guys aren't the one that's going to be better later.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They're gonna try and hold on here. They're gonna save the last T4 with this glyph. I don't think the Dire's all that mad. Why are they leaving? Because they want the game to go on longer. It's their protest against not having a 3-match series this week. Alrighty. Anti-mage just counterspells nothing and everyone walks away. Anti-mage going for Abyssal here.
From shadow to
DK got a Shadow Blade, is going for Silver Edge. Which, I mean, hey, Silver Edge is very good this game. If he gets it. And can use it effectively. Like, can kill the people while their ults are, or while their passes are down. Which is, you know, kind of a big ask, but... Dire looking for people, not gonna find anybody. Everybody on Radiant is either behind T3s or is just on a warding mission up here at top. Radiant is avoiding the fights right now. Waiting for the inevitable part of the game, where DK outscales Anti-Mage, which, you know, that definitely happens. At some point, you know. Not enough damage on Radiant items / heroes. Yeah! Yorkin's a clever pick, but it's kind of a hard ask when the Windrunner started falling so far behind. And the Dawnbreaker's basically third support. Wonder if the other series will go 2-1. I hope so. I hope so. Give me more time to shill for subs on Wednesday, so that'll be fun. By the way, while we're all sitting here kind of waiting, I want to give another mention that the All-Star vote's still in progress. You still have the ability to both vote, change your vote if you decided you don't like what you originally voted for, you got more guys you want to cast a ballot for. You can select 2 in each role. I know a lot of people have not been reading the instructions, but you can do 2 in every role. So do remember that. Somebody just bought Nags, couldn't see who though. She's had hers. Is that his? It was Centaur. Okay, Centaur finished his Ags. A little
Randy
more under.
left, though.
One of the more underrated eggs in the LD2L, I think. Not only does it let you carry around a squishy person and make them effectively invincible, but, you know, there's actually quite a lot to be said about just having a free stampede 2 times a minute, you know what I mean? Man, this DK is just so gone. In fairness, the anti-mage had double damage here. He couldn't have known that was happening, but...
Radiant's
Yikes.
middle tower is under attack.
Is it just gonna end instantly? Like, hit the ancient, guys. Trying to pad your stats? Lunar's gonna come out. We're gonna get the Centaur ult, followed by the Global Silence. Global Silence is gonna be pretty much immediately undone. Everybody's gonna get rid of it. Moon River is actually gonna... Never mind. I was gonna say Moon River is gonna live. Nope.
Dire victory.
And while everybody is fighting, it's over. Charlie Wang said enough is enough, and the clock and ball torture has come to an end. I have a feeling it ended on something of a flaccid note. This is much more of a return to form for the Charlie Wang team, unfortunately. They looked super awesome last week. They looked excellent, like a very well-polished, well-coordinated unit. This time, it didn't happen for them. I suspect, my theory in Game 1, that they kind of came in with one plan and then just saw it spectacularly fail, kind of panned out in the end. Well, hold on. Just 1 second. Oh my god, Discord, why must you die at the most inopportune times? Anyway. I think that might legitimately be the case. Like, they came in trying to do these, like, late game, you know, pause 1 to pause 1 match against them, and it just didn't work out. They just didn't, like, execute it properly, and when it flopped, they just had nothing left in the tank. I don't know. Game with ups and downs, somewhat disappointing. Definitely, I mean, this is going to be super flame. Definitely makes me wonder what life would have been like with the Granola here, because I think Granola and Kyrix would be a very nice and competitive matchup, but that did not end up happening. That's going to happen sometimes, but still. Either way, anything else to say about this game before we go out, Jumpman? Because Randy immediately left. Besides, don't
The
pick
Charlie Wang team
Go on.
did better or lasted longer than I expected.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, last week looked awesome. They have at least that one series to say, we could have done this. It definitely felt like this team's issue was getting everything in place, right? Consistency and being on the same page. It was weird because it wasn't like a communications breakdown like you saw in other games. Like, not in that kind of way. Usually when you see these comm line breakdown scenes like Heroin early in the season where you would have a fight start and then 5 people would react to it in different ways. This time it felt like, I don't know, it felt like everyone was just kind of playing off. Like, it felt like people were kind of bad at predicting when they were strong or weak. It felt like they were bad at predicting whether they could win a fight or not. It felt like, their idea of what the game state was pretty consistently, like, incorrect. And it feels like, to a degree, the execution factor on some of these drafts kind of follows that. It's like they just pick these 5 heroes. They don't really know what they do altogether. They don't play it like they know what they do altogether, and it's sort of unfortunate because as individuals, they're very good players, and we saw very good plays from them this game. But it's that tactical and that strategic layer where they kind of are falling apart, and they fell apart badly in this match. Kyrix did a very good job taking advantage of it. Drafted a smart lineup in Game 1 that was able to overcome the deficiency, executed it very well. Had some hiccups, I guess, early on, but mostly on the individual basis. Game 2, they just completely shut it down. One pick basically shut this game down. The Viper said, you don't get to have a game, and Radiant said, okay. Really, should have banned that thing, frankly. I don't know. Either way, it's time for the classic end-of-season rundown. So, Jumpman, I'll give you the honor. Don't just say in order or something. I'll give you the honor of determining who I'm going to talk about. Well, in what order?
Cream.
Krem. The syndrome still lingers. Still, it feels like you're living in a world where most of your pool is just these, like, really nerfed out heroes, where it feels like your life is kind of rough. I do think you kind of found a spark here late in the season with some of these weird early game aggressive P1s, like the Lycan that we saw a couple of weeks ago. Was pretty impressive. The early game plays in the quarterfinals looked pretty good. It definitely feels overall like you are more well suited to that sort of early game, something like Lud does. I still think Charlie should have played pause too. I still don't. I feel like this team doesn't even get here if Charlie's too. You just cannot. Like, offlane is the weak role right now, but you can't not have one. And that's the situation they have as Chuck is P2. Like, literally none of these other players play P3 at all. Even less than, like, Mega Man. So, you're really in a fix if you send them mid. And the mids this season, like, the big mid teams have not really been, like, hammering it. They've not been popping off. Like, most of the big mid teams ended up falling to pieces in the first week. Or the first week of playoffs, so I definitely don't feel like that was a strategy here. But either way. Yeah, Krem, feeling like these sort of early game more aggressive heroes, they're feeling nice for you, maybe doing something like what Lud does with your pool. Where Lud is usually like focusing on early game aggression, but he's still like getting the last hits, he's still looking at that in game. But he looks to secure that position early and then go from there. I think might be a good strategy for you in the long run. Who's next?
Charlie.
Chuck. Very inconsistent season for you, my friend. It definitely feels like in a lot of these games, we have the Charlie Wang who's just like sitting there on some kind of snowbally type hero and like running over people. And in half the games, we see Charlie Wang, well, not even on some snowbally hero necessarily, because he's doing fine on things that didn't snowball. It's just like, it felt like a lot of games we saw a very high impact Charlie Wang. It feels like a lot of games we saw a very low impact Charlie Wang, and it was very hard to put those pieces together. It might just be him trying to run heroes he was rusty on. It might just be, I don't know. Hard to tell. If you're going to play more Pause 3, if you're going to try and become a career Pause 3 player in the future, which I doubt, given your Dota buff, it's something to consider. If not, well, I mean, you're not going to be here next season anyway. You're goddamn divine now. You better not be here next season. So, you know, it was not that bad having you here. A lot of people were worried, but I think the idea of, you know, just get one season to have some fun and then scoot off is going to be fine for you. Who's next?
Piace Vole.
Piaceval. It's effectively a rookie season. It's not like you were here very long last time you were in LD2L. You said you're leaving, so can't say much as far as like future seasons go. Excuse me, jeez. There has been hell today. But either way, the key to the future with you, I don't know, it doesn't feel like support, really. It feels like maybe, I mean, you're still low MMR and it's still going to be hard to sell people on you doing core, but it definitely does feel like the way you like to play in fights, the way you like to position, the way you like to shit-talk in team in all chat. It definitely feels like you're more accustomed to something higher up on the roster. So maybe maybe put a couple of months into trying to run core. Couldn't hurt, right? Couldn't hurt. Who's next?
Moon River.
And which is not to say you did bad as a support. It's just it doesn't feel like that's where the natural inclination is. Moon River, big to rust season for you. Moon River, like Krem actually, came back after a very long absence of playing Dota to play this season. Started off this season very rough. Just to be blunt, a lot of the issues that the Charlie Wang team had early on was just because Moon River has come back to the game after a long time, had to shake it off. I think in the long run did a pretty good job of it. Was especially a very big part of their win last week, right? Which was so impressive that everyone started voting like Charlie Wang and Moon River on the All-Star vote somehow, but you know, either way, not to say that they shouldn't be, it's just, you know, it was that it just tipped the scales that hard that people were looking past the rest of the season to do that. Definitely felt like we got you back into the swing of things by the end of the season. It definitely feels like the thing to do right now is to try and find like a groove, try to find a niche at 2. Because right now you're still trying to play like every hero in the world. Right now you're still bringing a new hero to every battle. I mean, look, right here you're playing the Windrunner. You don't even like play that hero very often, right? try to narrow it down a little bit. Try to focus on like a smaller pool of heroes. I mean, it makes you more ban vulnerable, and that's going to make you cry, but it's like, we've seen you pop off on some guys, we've seen you do nothing on some guys. We want to meet in the middle, right? More often than not. We want to be having good performances all the time. So narrowing it down could be good. Which leaves Joe. No complaints. I feel like it would be disingenuous, like with Leaf, I said on the Ransom Steam review. I feel like it would almost be disingenuous to shit on Joe for this season. Awesome time. You're out of the LD2L range. You deserve to be out of the LD2L range, frankly. I mean, that sounds like I'm exclusionary, but no, you do play like a very good player, right? Above like 4K. So I'm glad to see you hitting that badge. I hope to see you keep rising in the future. Again, I hope to see you not here, because I think not here is where you belong. You know, you're better. Not better, because that's gonna that kind of has like a moral underlying implication. But you play at a higher level than LD2L is really catered towards, and I think that's the ball game. If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 on a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg today to sign up. It's too late to get into this season, but it's not too late to join in for those in-houses that are happening. It's not too late to join the queues that are still popping everywhere you look. ld2l.gg, follow the link to the Discord server, that's where all the action's happening, and hey, you never know, 21 could be pretty soon. We will see you next time for the Heroine Brion series this Wednesday. Anybody you want to shut up before we leave, Jumpman?
No.
Awesome. Shoutouts to all of Jumpman's friends. He didn't think any of you were worth a shoutout. No response.